Good morning and welcome to Atlantic Blowout. Atlantic Blowout is a syndicated live program of the network featuring chit-chatting and conversation on special interest topics, news, events and stories through correspondence reports, expert opinion and stakeholders analysis. Today we'll be looking at these stories. Abia State, over 100 deaths averted, soldiers evacuate church bomb. Sit at home. Onitsha market reopens after governor's one-week shutdown. Lagos State, CCTV center will boost policing, cut crime, IG. Travels, presidency spends 34 billion naira on forex. And in power, state governments now share electricity subsidy payments. 2027 elections, Peter Obi rejects VP role, seeks presidential candidacy. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on X, Atlantic TV Nets. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Welcome back. In the studio with me today is none other than our security consultant, Mr. Victor Ufoma. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my dear. Good morning, listeners. Thanks for having me once again.
Always a pleasure, sir. And thank you for coming into the studio as well.
You're welcome.
All right, let's get into today's conversation. Over 100 persons would have lost their lives following the discovery of an object suspected to be a bomb at the United Evangelical Church, Ehere Umuola, Ogbo Hill, Aba, Abia State. According to eyewitnesses, some church members were digging the fence area around the parsonage for a new one when they dug out a large metal object. One of them was said to have taken the strange object to the nearby water borehole when the priest in charge suddenly suspected the object to be a bomb and warned them to stay away from the object. A source further added that the priest in charge went to a military unit in the city which led soldiers to storm the parsonage to evacuate the deadly object. Sympathizers who were gathered at the scene expressed gratitude to God for the unexploded object, adding that not less than 100 persons would have lost their lives and building destroyed, as the area is always filled with traders and passerbys. Contacted Secretary of the Aba Area Conference of the United Evangelical Church, Reverend Thompson Ekpe-Oha, who confirmed the incident, said he was yet to be fully briefed by the priest in charge of the Ehere Church. Mr. Victor, first of all, what does this say about security in Nigeria, especially in the southeast region, now that the sit-at-home situation is being averted by the state government. Now, it seems like some people will try to use other means to inflict harm on the people. We're talking about intelligence gathering. Had these people not been digging a hole in that vicinity, in that area, only God knows what would have happened. So in such instances, what could be done to avert such situations, especially in terms of intelligence gathering?
In terms of, let's talk about the sit-at-home first that the governors in the East are trying to stop. I don't know how serious they are about it because it's been on, and even the government seems to obey the sit-at-home most times. Most of the activities are always starts from like Tuesday and nobody talks about it. The governors goes about with convoy, protecting themselves, and you want the shops to be open. So who protects the common person? As regard the bomb, my problem again with worship center is they believe the Holy Spirit should do everything for them. They can build a beautiful edifice, but getting security guards now to mount the place, most times is always a problem. More live and for God, now God house. Because if you have security guards around that guards that compound every day, before somebody will come and dig that hole and put something like that, they will notice it. And apart from that, CCTV cameras again. If you have CCTV cameras, which I could have, I'm trying to come up with a program that talks about, that address security issues in worship centers. How the worship centers, they play down on security, which is not good. Peter came out with knife at a point. Peter that was following Jesus. Then who am I not to protect myself or protect the worship center? You understand? So they should increase surveillance. They should be more proactive. The churches should live in the present day. The present day is there's insecurity. Yeah. Let's put cameras. You build an edifice for God, thank God. How many million? How much will it cost you to put CCTV camera? Maybe 500, maybe 1 million naira, maybe 2 million naira. After building an edifice of over 20 million naira. So is it penny wise, pounds foolish? You understand? Even if it's not going to happen, we pray it doesn't happen, the attack doesn't come, but we should live ready. It gives the worshippers confidence to come and worship. So we should be more proactive around our worship center, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right in that regard, considering the fact that whenever these atrocities is being targeted by these individuals, it's always either churches or schools, which usually are vulnerable to these attacks.
Because they know that those places, in terms of security, is almost zero or nothing. You understand? That's why, and those people are patient. And when they do something, they want to do something they like doing something that will go viral. If we plant this bomb around the church area, and it explodes, and it kills 100 people, the whole world will hear about it. You understand? They will not go do it in some places, and they know that worship center most times lack this security consciousness. You understand? That's why they are always a target. You understand? So the church needs to wake up. When it comes to physical security, and not spiritual security, we go for all night, we pray, God help us, Holy Spirit guide us. But physical security, the church needs to work, not only in the southeast, all over the country.
Yes.
All over the country, we need to sit up. And we can even make it easier. And we can still form alliance with, like, if there's a church around here, look for the nearest police station, go introduce yourself, and tell them most times, just help us patrol. If it means us paying something, you understand. But most churches say, why are we going to do that? There's no point. Let the police. Your own is a particular place of concern, whether you like it or not. Whether the church is in my village or is in the city or anywhere, is always a particular place of concern. So work with the law enforcement agents. When you have programs, let them come around. Just park, because when it comes to security, your presence is the first point of security. When they see security trucks around and all that, the police might not need to shoot. But for the fact that there's a truck in front of the church or the street leading to the worship center, the man that has the mind of wanting to commit that kind of atrocity we'll call this colleague and say, oh boy, no come on, they come back house, you not go work. Just because you cited a police van or an army van or a military van. So the church needs to wake up in terms of physical security.
Okay, so other than the churches waking up to physical security, how about our state government and federal government? Isn't it time that they become proactive when it comes to security matters? Because like I stated earlier, when it comes to targets for these atrocities, it's always the churches and the schools. Knowing this, one of the things that the federal government, the state government would put measures in place to ensure that these vulnerable institutions are well protected. Maybe include it in the budget, maybe inform police personnel, the military, as you stated. Okay, every once in a while, do patrol these schools, these hospitals within your vicinities and make sure that they are safe. I mean, this also includes intelligence gathering, you know, concerning such institutions. Isn't it about time our governments become proactive in making sure that these vulnerable institutions are well protected?
The government, most times, they are not sincere when it comes to things like this. Most times, they are not sincere. Most times, they just buy the vehicles and maybe a little gadget for the military people, the police people. And the government expects the police people or the military people to do their job. The government will not come to do the job of the policeman. I'm funding you, I'm buying you vehicles and all that, because you know better than me. You're supposed to advise the government on where are the possible places of target, what's it called, attack. You understand? So we need to patrol. But the police will not come out until you come to meet them, even if it's happening in front of them. And take note, most times, as a policeman or as a military man, if you're not posted to a particular area, there's a church here, and there's an attack here, and a big man stays close, and he has mobile men. Those mobile men are not allowed to come help the church.
Are you for real?
Yes, because if they do so and anything happens to them, the military, the police will deny them.
Oh, okay.
They will not write it, or they will not say he died in line of duty, no. Rather, the request is like wanting to wake up the cause and say, why did you go there? I will punish you for that.
Oh.
And the small benefits due him normally if he retires or something happens to him officially might not be given to the family. So that's why, again, they are very careful when things are happening. If there is a shootout close by to a church and there's a police, what's it called? They rather just beef up around themselves. Okay, let's see if people will pass our area, then we can. But say, let's leave our post. Most of them will not do it because they know the consequence. You understand?
Yeah.
So both the government, and again, the government cannot do everything for us like we know. That's why we need to play our own parts. Even if the government say policeman patrol this X street X because of the worship centers around there, or actually there are worship days, you understand, patrol 5 times a day or 10 times that period, the policeman might do 1 or 2 times and go back and say, after all, we think concern us. They pray to their God, then their God save them. So it rests on you to map out how do we, I used to be head of security in my church, a very, very big church, you understand? And one time a woman, they called me and said the woman gave us a scanner. Scanner is this metal detector to scan and all that. And the woman said she saw the way we act, front and back gate and everywhere. That means she can worship here, means her secure. So to encourage us, she had to. So the churches must not play down on security. They need to. I've seen churches where they find edifice and there's no security guard. And in the night, they come to loot almost everything. Why will you build a structure of more than 50 million? And you can't pay maybe, let's say, minimum wage, 70,000. Get 4 people. You work how many days? You work how many days? 4 people, that's how much to guide every month and all that, compared to the cost of building the building. So we too, the church, the worship center, not just the church alone, we have a role to play.
How about the schools then?
The school too, the same thing.
You mean the government schools? I mean, private schools, I can understand that they may have the resources to safeguard the place and the lives of the children and the teachers as well. But when it comes to government institutions that are usually already suffering the burden of education, how well can they protect themselves? Because mind you, when these things happen, it's hardly you hear that it happened in a private school. It's always the government schools, state-owned schools, that are usually targeted. So how do they also protect themselves if they cannot rely on the federal government or state governments?
If they cannot rely on the federal or state governments, all the private government-owned schools, if you go inside, outwardly you might not know, but if you go inside, you will know that at different points they collect different levy that is not official for whatever reason. And apart from that, the government too gives the school small money to run the school, to buy chalk, to do this, to do that. So now, knowing that the government is not there for us always, from this little we get, if we need 1,000 naira to get CCTV running and all that, every time we get this money, let's put something aside. And after this period of time, we'll get our own and secure our compound. That would be better. So like when it comes to security, it's not the government alone. It's everybody's problem. So everybody needs to be involved.
Okay.
The governor will come if something happens. Oh, sorry, it's a pity. Go sympathize with the parents, go sympathize with the family of the teachers and all. But we've lost people. And the principal, the headmaster, the head teacher that refused, and you're charging different levies, illegal levies, and you refuse to do this thing. If it happens, something happened once. I was in charge of a program, and something happened at the gate, and they called my attention. And one group said, it is not our duty. That's why I did not stop the woman. Another group said, it's our duty, but you're supposed to help. And I told this other group that said it's not their duty. I said, if the woman was carrying a bomb, an explosive, if the explosive goes off, will it kill you too?
Good question.
And the guy said, yes, so it's everybody's duty. That's what they call synergy. You understand? Everybody needs to synergize with the government. Government has a lot on their plates. Who's the government? The governments are politicians. Politicians, number one, like I posted something recently, they make their own interests feel like public interests. They are doing their selfish thing, so we don't look at them. We need to protect ourselves.
Okay.
You understand? So that's what I think. The schools need to, from those levies they collect, beef up security. Maybe the gatemen or the physical guards there are just one person for how many months? Okay, let's add another one. We'll pay from our own pockets. Let's add 2 more. It's our own security we're talking about. Because this one man, at a point, will go to buy food, go to get something, might not be at the gate every time. And what they need, if you need to commit crime, there's what they call crime triangle. The criminal, the location, and the time. You can't stop the criminal from committing crime. The location. So who's manning the location? It's just one man. He goes out every 2 p.m. to buy food, and also 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. this place is always free. Then is the time to strike. So if we need to plant bomb, let's wait for 2 p.m. We have 1 hour to dig and place anything we have. So, but if they have one and the school say, okay, let's get 2 more. And one is going to buy something. They say, okay, so help me buy while I stay back and watch. So because you've decided to keep more people, 1 or 2 persons is staying back. When I come, I'll notice if I want to commit crime, means this place is no longer safe. There's no how I can come in to plant my bomb. There's no how I can come in to just kidnap and run. Without, so there's somebody at the gate every time. That means this place is not suitable and is safe. Means we can't carry out our arts. Then we need to look for somewhere else. So if everybody does the same thing, at the end of the day, but this system no favor us again. No. This place no favor us again. No. Obama could change market. Let's do legitimate business, because if we continue like we'll suffer. Money is no longer coming. They've blocked all our loopholes, or they've reduced it to the barest minimum. They'll look for something else to do.
Okay.
And before you know, the society will be more safe and all that.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ofoma. Finally, final question on this conversation. What is the possibility that this object, the bomb that was found in the church premises, was an old one from previous agitation? I mean, let's assume that that is the case. What does this say about infrastructure building and how to safeguard such explosive in around the city? We've had a few communities here in Nigeria that have seen agitations, whether it's the southeast, south, or the northern parts. We've seen situations where some terrorists or agitators have planted, bombs and explosives in different areas. Some of them haven't been forgotten about. I'm talking about even in the southeast during the civil wars and whatnot. The possibility that some of these explosives has been forgotten or have been forgotten about is there. Now, due to innovation, infrastructure buildings and whatnot, we can come across some of them. So what are the safety measures put in place to ensure that in case of such incidents, lives and properties will be protected?
Most times, let me talk about in this case now. They have different units, even the police too. Bomb disposal unit, bomb this, bomb unit, they have different units. When a place like, let's say after there was civil war, and a lot of things happen. Now the civil war has ended. Those units are supposed to come out with their gadgets. Their sophisticated gadgets they have. I assume they have. If they don't have, that means there's problem. I assume, and if they have those gadgets, they need to come sweep those communities. Sweeping the community is not using broom to sweep. You just bring your gadget. Those are bomb detectors.
Yeah.
If I bring it, it might be as small as this phone. And if I bring it into this area, it will indicate if there's anything of concern. And when the GPS map on that device will direct you to wherever you have those things. Those things keep happening because after civil war, after crises like this, like what we have in the north and in the southeast, because those units don't go to do their work. They just assume the war is over, the fighting is over, less. But these people mounted this thing during this crisis problem to protect themselves. So if you're coming towards their camp, you step on them and it goes off. You understand?
Yeah.
But by whichever means, maybe you've succeeded in making peace with them, you've overrun them, you've killed them, you've dislodged them. Now there is peace. Those places needs to be swept with those gadgets. So I'll advise that the military comes up again. They should date it back from civil war. Those areas that house both the Biafra troops, the Nigerian troops, they need to go resweep those areas. If it's in the southeast or the northeast where we have these Boko Haram and all that happening now, any area you take over, you sweep those areas because those things will be there. You might not discover them today. It might be how many years. It happened some time ago somewhere and it killed a lot of people. We can't wait till, that's why we said in the, when we were starting this program, that both the government, we need to be proactive. You don't wait for when it has happened, we come to say, like the Yoruba Palace, sorry to not happen. Oh, sorry, we're on top of the matter. No. Be on top of the matter before it happens. Be proactive rather than be reactive. And if you're proactive, these things can be reduced. There are new gadgets. You can just fly one drone everywhere. Just let the drone be in the air. It will detect where. When the map comes out, when the drone comes back, you'll see the map. It will show you, go check this area well. I suspect something here. But even if they have the drones, some will say nothing, I beg you, when they fight civil war last, my grandpapa time and all that. Some people will say, even if they bring money to buy the gadgets, so if they bring the money to some people will not buy it. They give the army, they give the, let me not call their names. I still hear policemen and army men say, it was when I left police college, it was when I left the army college that they gave me uniform last. I've been the one buying my uniform over time. But every year there is budget for uniform. Where does those money go to? Who collects those money? So we need to be sincere to ourselves first.
Okay. We need to be sincere to ourselves first. Moving on to our next story. Onitsha Main Market, the largest commercial hub in Anambra State, reopened on Monday after a one-week shutdown following a directive from Governor Chukwuma Soludo. The closure had been ordered following traders' compliance with the indigenous people of Biafra. Monday's sit-at-home order despite repeated government warnings against observing directives from non-state actors. Governor Soludo, determined to restore normalcy and economic activity, had warned that continued closure could lead to further sanctions. Responding to his directive, traders began returning to the market as early as 8:45 a.m., with shops reopening along major corridors such as Egerton, Oshe Foodstuff Market, the Young Park, Emeka Ofo Plaza, Sokoto Road, Lagos Line, and Marine. Customers were also seen patronizing various stalls, signaling a return to business as usual. The state government's stance was reinforced by heightened security measures across the market and surrounding areas. The Anambra State Police Command issued a strong warning to residents and business owners, urging them to disregard threats and misinformation spread by non-state actors, particularly via social media. Recall IPOB had reportedly called for a lockdown across the southeast in solidarity with the traders. However, the group's lawyer, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, dismissed the directive as fake, reiterating that IPOB had long renounced sit-at-home orders. He called on members of the public to ignore such calls and resume normal activities. Mr. Ofoma, you had mentioned earlier on in your statements that when it comes to the Onitsha market, it's one thing for the governor to say, the place is safe, go back to the market without reinforcing it. But it seems that the governor is backing his words with actions. The state police has ensured the safety of lives and properties in that location. And then even the IPOB lawyer has come out and said they have renounced a sit-at-home order. Does this reiterate the state government's authority over non-state actors, especially when it comes to the southeast region in this regard?
You said something now. The IPOB lawyer said they've renounced the sit-at-home, but he's still there. We still have videos of people speaking from the camp, different camps in the east, concerning sit-at-home, no sit-at-home. Nigeria, when something breaks out, there's always another breakout from that main thing. Other groups, they've come out from that IPOB, and they are saying, whatever you say, that's your business. We're still going to stand on the status quo, what we believe in and all that. I tell the government, yes, it's a good thing to go close the market as a sign of warning, because you want the market to run. And states like Anambra states, Abia states, name them, most states in the east, they survive mostly on those revenues they get, because imagine a lot of people, they come from different places to come by and sell there. You understand, giving the states revenue. So if there's this particular day you've knocked out from the week, means they've lost it, they are losing a lot of money. But the thing is, before you give that order that they should start opening around the clock and all that, how safe is your states? You know where they are. They cannot tell me they don't know their camps. Go and deal with the threat first before you come to tell these people they play. If you deal with the threat, the people will naturally just come and say it is time, means the place is safe. You're still going about with this large convoy and you say the state is safe. You've not reduced your convoy as a governor. Then you're telling the market, okay, now, they've resumed since on Monday. You will not put policemen and what's it called, state vigilante and other people there to seek. How long will they stay there? How sincere will they be? How ready will they be? So why not fight the battle first? Win the battle over these people. Then the market will open on its own. Because if my safety is not guaranteed, my dear, I will not come to sell on Monday. Most government workers don't go to work on Monday, even in government houses in the east. And you're telling me to come and sell. Is it your money? Is it I don't know if you understand.
Yes,
if something happened now, you just come again, come to the crime scene and speak all the grammar. They've lost. Different families, they've lost different people. And this might be their breadwinner. So they are only being cautious, not because they don't want to come. So if you guarantee them that you man security around the market and deal with the threat, I always tell people when it comes to security, security is like a tree. Don't just cut the tree halfway. Go to the root, dig it from the root so that it will not come up again. If you cut it halfway, it will surely come up again. Not just tell them to open, not just put security men around the market. What about the roads, the community leading to that market? How safe am I if I come to sell and I'm going back and I'm attacked? So even if the person is not attacked in the market, on his way back, somebody comes from Aba, comes from Lagos to buy, on his way to the airport or leaving the market area, one road, and somebody attacks, will I still come back? Will other people still come back? Because the threat is still there. The ugly monster is still there. The monster with the ugly head is still there.
Okay.
The governors, you have all the apparatus, you have the military, you have the this. Do your due diligence. Be sincere to ourselves, sincere to the people you're leading. Go to this, you have everything. If the men you have or the manpower or the things you have is not enough, the equipment are not, tell the federal government to give you more. Buy more. I think, is it in Nugun State? They just bought some drones now, surveillance drone, to go around. When the surveillance drone goes around and gather information, what do? You must act on those information. The Christmas period, people that came from different parts of the country, maybe people that came into the country and that wanted to go to the east, I know what they suffered. They had to pay for extra security themselves. They had to hire or rent ballistic vehicles, bulletproof SUVs, pay armed men to take them to their village. Is that bad? So if I pay security for the 1 week I'm going to stay in my village, 2 million naira. Imagine me not paying that security and I go to my village to spend Christmas. That 2 million naira will help the community. I'll spend it around. I'll buy rice, I'll distribute some things. I will help to improve. I can use that 2 million or so to start one small project. You understand? So they should fight it from the root, not just come and tell us open market, closed market. It's the sell your sell, it's a market your market. Okay. So if my life is involved, I need to be careful. You understand? The government should, this purpose of sincerity is not there. Fight it from there. I don't know whether they are still keeping these people because of election period. Election period, you hear one community that is not safe, that they've not been, in fact, they've run out of the residents, they've run out for months or years. Election results will come out and you hear 3 million people voted from there. How come? Maybe they are still living it because of election advantages and all that. But if they are sincere, they can wipe. One governor in the north said if they are sincere, that terrorists, they can wipe them out in 2 weeks. Him as a governor, that if they give him what it takes, and because they know that he knows their camp as a governor. Intelligence gathering has showed where and where. The places US bombed, those men have been operating there for more than 10, 15, 20 years. What has happened? Nothing. We wait for the little ones, the one going to supply them biscuit and water. You catch, apprehend them and show them on the news. But meanwhile, the camp is a no-go area. And the camp is just how many kilometers away from you. It's a no-go area. You're waiting for who will go supplying them, how many ammunitions, how many guns and all that. When the headquarters, you're seeing it is not, why not do the needful and let the country have peace?
All right, but in this instance, the market men and women seems to be compliant with the governor's directive. Does this mean that the fear of repercussions due to the Monday sit at home is slowly reducing, and then their confidence in their state governors or their state governments in protecting them has increased? Or would you say it's due to economic desperation, due to the governor shutting down the market for 1 week?
It's not because anything has improved significantly in terms of security. People are going back because the governor said, I'll close this market for 1 week, and any week, anytime you don't obey that Monday reopening, I'm coming back again. And even if we're 20 and 10 comes back, the other 10, if I come back and this other 10 does not open, we'll take over their shop. We close their shop, we really allocate their. So it's a threat from the government that is making them go back. It's not because the security has improved that much. It's not because there's
even with the presence of police in the market. I mean, I would like to believe that the police officers are being strategically positioned in the market to ensure the safety of the people. You're
talking about police officers, the military people positioned in the market. But I need to leave my house to get to the market. So like we said in the other time, in the other discussion, if the market is now no-go area for these boys to come and attack the traders for opening on Monday, we'll lay ambush and wait for them as they are coming out from their houses, their areas, their villages and all that. are security mounted in those roads leading to the market too? Is security mounted all over Anambra State? So what about if I come and buy, if I come and trade, I close my shop? They know us. They know me. I'm the major, what's it called, pharmaceutical dealer in the market. They know everybody. They know what they do. What if they are going back after the day sales on a Monday and they are not in that vicinity of the market, outside the market, they still could be attacked. So it's just the threat from the governor that is making them obey. It's not because the security has improved. So the government needs to, in as much as they've protected the market environment, protect the whole state. Make it safe enough for people to come out and go back. Because if it continues, God forbid, after now you start hearing individual attack. They go to attack individuals. They go to burn down people's houses, attack people's family because you obeyed government. You did not obey us and all that. But if you've dealt with those people from their camp and all that, those camps, let's assume they have 20 camps in the whole of Anambra State. You've been able to reduce to by the time you reduce from 20 to 12, 14, 16, the remaining 4 will just close and go. The remaining 4 will just end that thing, maybe leave the state, or now say, okay, this market, this business is no longer good for us. We need to now do something else. Because they've killed, we used to be 2,000 in this fight. They've killed 1,500. They've killed 1,600. So if they could kill 1,600, the remaining 400 of us, that means we're no longer safe. Not until you handle the problem from the roots. Securing the market alone, will I fly from the air to come to the markets? I'll still come by the road, through the road. If they attack me when I'm coming or when I'm going, what would the government say? Yes, the market is open, but the state is not still safe enough for that.
Okay.
So I was expecting them to deal with those camps and deal with these people. If, like we said, one of the sister stations, there are things you will post, the SS will come after you. So why would these people be posting and be issuing orders from their camp and they are still there till tomorrow? I believe we can do better. It's when we've taken down those people, then these things will flow. These orders will, you don't need to command anybody to come to the market. They will come on a Monday.
Okay.
Because they themselves now know the place is safe.
Okay. Speaking of which, if I should understand your statements clearly, the state government needs to do more than just
securing the market.
Yes. They need to secure the roads. They need to secure
the
strategic places in the state to ensure safety. Now, if this is not done and the markets, men and women, have gone back to the markets, the Onitsha market is reopened. The buyers, what does that say about the buyers' confidence in the government? If buyers do not go to patronize these sellers in the markets, how long would the Onitsha markets be open for? And also, would that defeat the purpose the Anambra governor is trying to, put across?
The buyers too wants to be sure that me coming to that particular market, am I safe? Somebody living Port Harcourt for Anambra State on a Monday. For you to go through even, this other state, what's it called? Imo State, to get to Anambra is a problem. So if there is no more sit at home on a Monday, what about what's it called? Owerri, Imo State? So if I can't go through from Port Harcourt, then I will not go. So you're only saying the market is open for people in that same state, that same area. You understand? If the governors around the East can come up and say, this is not even supposed to be a fight for Soludo alone. If the whole governor comes and say, I was expecting something like this, after the Southeast governor, maybe after having a meeting of Southeast governor, they will come out with this communique from next week, Monday, any market. So it's a joint thing. So that because this market you're talking about is not people from Anambra State they come from different states. They come from Akwa Ibom. So if I'm coming from Akwa Ibom, if you say the market is open on a Monday, and I can't come through Ebonyi State, because I need to come in through Ebonyi State, I need to come in through Enugu, and those places are not safe. Will I need to take a helicopter to come? You understand? So insecurity, they must go tough on it first before it becomes, if you say Anambra is safe and these other places are not safe, how will I get there now? You understand? So fight the insecurity first before you come up with something like this. Because as a buyer, I will not go to where my safety is not guaranteed. If I'm coming back or if I'm attacked somewhere, on a Monday, you see most times People, if you're in Delta State, maybe Asaba, and on a Monday you want to come back to Port Harcourt, most people would rather go through Ughelli and come through Patani than to go through Onitsha, Owerri, and come into Port Harcourt. Because of the fear of sit at home. But when you've cured this virus called insecurity, you understand? People can come in, and if I can come in on a Monday from Asaba to Port Harcourt, meaning I can still go to markets in Onitsha on a Monday and come back safely, because that route have been cleared. You understand? All the governors are working together. You understand? So not until it is handled collectively, people definitely will still be skeptical about that Monday going to the market. The sellers will want to meet up, will want to do that just because, what is it called? They've given us marching order. If we don't, and they've provided some level of security, but the buyer, depending on where you're coming from. On a Monday, if I need to go through this, how do I do that? When my security is not guaranteed. Apart from the market area, if I'm coming from Benin, I need to go through Asaba. The moment I cross that, what's it called, Niger Bridge, you understand? What's my security? Is my security guaranteed from there till I get to the market? And if something happened to me, my family, so I'd rather look out for somewhere else, not until I'm sure security around there has been taken care of.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Ofoma. Let's move on quickly to Lagos State. Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, has expressed confidence that the newly inaugurated closed-circuit television surveillance center will significantly reduce crime and improve police service delivery in 2026. Egbetokun stated this during the inspection of the surveillance facility in Lagos on Monday. The police chief said the installation of the CCTV center forms part of ongoing efforts to deploy technology-driven policing and strengthen the security architecture of the command. He also urged police officers to make effective use of the facility in line with global best practices, assuring Nigerians of the police force's commitment to professionalism, efficiency, and improved security nationwide. According to him, the surveillance facility is expected to enhance intelligence gathering, improve response time, and support effective crime prevention and detection. He commended the Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, and partners involved in the construction and commissioning of the center, noting that collaboration remained key to achieving sustainable security outcomes. Mr. Ofoma, again, this is in your line of work. Would you say that the CCTV center can indeed help prevent crime in Lagos State? Or do you think the state government is just bowing down to public pressure to, for technology-led policing?
There are different angles to this. It's not just enough to have CCTV center. Number one, what's the quality of the CCTV cameras and equipment or technology you have? For instance, in this country to tomorrow, when they build roads, they will put, what's it called, traffic lights. They still put the old outdated traffic lights. The new traffic light moves is AI driven. The old one, this other lane is cleared, but it's a lane storm, and there's no vehicle coming to still show stop. Maybe there's no vehicle there. The one that is crowded because it's not your time and all that. But if it is AI driven, but per time, the camera knows which lane to allow, which one not to allow. It's not first is the one on the left because the light will change, blue light will change, this one. They are modern gadgets. They are modern CCTV cameras. And I hope and pray they bought the right ones. Okay, that's one part. If you've gotten the right ones, then you need to train men on how to mount those right ones. People need to sit at that place, that table, for round the clock every day to monitor. That's only when you know something's about going wrong or something went wrong this way, this place, and how do we respond. And they need to have a quick response team. It's not just having this thing alone. If this thing happened in, let's say, on Third Mainland Bridge, there's an incident there. They are robbing somebody. How do we send men, rescue team, there. So there are different layers to this. So not just because we have CCTV cameras and all that. And apart from that, I said something again. Are they modern CCTV cameras? There are cameras that have facial recognition this thing, IDs. The moment you pass, it captures your face and puts in their system. The moment your car passes, it captures your plate number and puts in their system. So if that car commits crime anywhere, a blue Venza did this, and they just go back and check all the colors of blue Venza that pass that area. From there, they will check and they'll see the number, and you can trace.
I mean, I think in that aspect, I will give it to the Lagos state government, because they are trying in that one when it comes to traffic control. Because I've seen instances or some stories online where some individuals have come out to say that they were issued a ticket because, according to them, they were captured, you know, for violating, for violating traffic rules. So I think in that regard, I do not know about now, but at least in that regard, there's been some information that states that the Lagos state government at least has some improved technology.
Lagos state government, you give it to them when it comes to security in Nigeria. They are trying, they are doing their best. Like you said, there are times you beat the traffic, and you know these days your plate number, when you go to register, it is linked to your NIM, linked to your BVM and all that. So it is easy for them to trace you. Most times, like a pastor friend said, they came to his house to tell him this was what you did, and they showed him the proof. And they asked him, gave him receipt, this is the charge you pay, go to this bank. It can work. It's not that it cannot work, as long as we're sincere. Like I said, if it's a modern gadget, we have manpowers well-trained to man them, and we have, what's it called now, quick response team. Like your guest said in the other program, if there's fire outbreak, how soon can the firefighters get there? So if the camera is just there to capture the incident and there's no quick response team, then there's no point. Because if the camera is there and I know if I mask myself, my face, and I come to operate, and I can go before they come and all that. So you just keep having videos of crime everywhere, and that's not the solution. The solution is you want to stop crime and all that. So if you have the right cameras, if you have the well-trained men, and men that are ready to mount, some people will say, okay, because the crime has not happened, we've been here for mounting this thing, sleepless night, I'm always on night duty, nothing they happen, I better make I go to sleep. And an incident happened while you're on sleep, or you did not even come, or you tell your colleague, this night I cannot go come, tomorrow, let's be doing it one night in, one night out, just a cover for me and all that. You understand? At that point, the essence of mounting those cameras will be defeated. So for sincere, we have the right cameras, it can work. And if other states could emulate, like I said in one station recently, there are things you put in the air, equipment you put in the air. It can see from here to Ahoda. It can see from here, from your iPad, you can see from here to Bayelsa. So imagine having those things in the air, and the criminal knows if I come from one village, from one bush side to kidnap, my coming and going will be seen in that camera. It means they can come to my location to track me, and it means I'm no longer safe. That means this business is no longer good, and that will make them relocate. Imagine them relocating, they will relocate to where the states or the communities that don't have these facilities. So it's not enough for Lagos states to have it. Other states should emulate. The Federal Capital Territory should emulate Lagos. With that, the crime rate will drop from maybe 70–80% to like 30–20%. You understand? Because it's no longer business as usual. Anytime we go to rob, they catch us on camera. They come to our hideout. You kidnap somebody from GRA, you're taking the person to one village, and they are seeing you move. And you know they are seeing you. Now you know that we have equipment land. You stop now. You understand? And again, the community people, because those people, wherever they have their camp or their hideout, is in somebody's community. Talk to the village chief and all that, sanction them, improve their welfare and all that, and tell them these things you're enjoying from government will stop the day this thing keeps happening in your community. So if the community does not give them room There are some communities you pass, they'll say that this place is safe because the community has vowed not to allow anybody create that image for them and all that. So policing is everybody's business, you understand? Mount the cameras, operate them well, have quick response team to follow up when there's an issue that can get there in split second, you understand? Then we're good to go. That means we're in the right direction. Means Lagos State is in the right direction. That means other states need to emulate Lagos State.
Now, let's talk about privacy protection. In a country where policies are easily abused, when it comes to protecting the privacy of individuals, of citizens living in the country, living in the state, how well can we guarantee their safety? And then ensuring that such information being gathered by the CCTV is not being used for other activities that would only benefit a few individuals at the cost of its people.
Like being a doctor, there are some medical ethics that you cannot go against. If you go against them, they will de-license you, collect your license. The same thing as with the barristers, the lawyers. There you hear at times they've revoked somebody's practicing license and all that. The same thing with the police. If you're privy to those information because of your duty to safeguard people, it's not your duty to allow those evidence or those informations you've gathered to go out in the public space. And if it goes out in the public space, the individual has a right to sue. I don't know if you understand. The individual has a right to sue because it's a breach on their privacy. You understand? So it is they know the implication. If you do that, what is next? And if you know that if I leak these people's information because I'm privy to it, and it will lead to me being arrested, me being sacked, and they will not do it. That's what you understand. They are trained to keep information. Like pastors, there are things you hear you never tell anybody.
True.
It's part of your calling.
Okay.
You understand? So it's a part of the police training to keep information. But these days, we don't know. These days, they compromise a lot because of small change, because of quick cash. If not, professionally, all policemen, all military men needs to be very professional. They have code of conduct and that you're meant to abide to. And if you don't, you face it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ofoma. We're going for a short commercial break. When we return, we will look into the rest of the stories. Please stay tuned.
person will survive.
Welcome back, still on Atlantic Blowout. Presidency has spent at least 34.39 billion naira on foreign exchange purchases for international travel and related obligations over a 2-year period, findings have shown. The figure is according to data compiled from GovSpend, a government spending tracker managed by budgets. The records, which cover transactions by the State House, Presidential Air Fleet, the Office of the Chief of Staff, and operations linked to the President, Vice President, First Lady, and their aides, show a sharp swing in spending patterns between 2024 and 2025. An analysis of the data shows that 2024 accounted for the bulk of the expenditure, with total forex purchases of 29.35 billion naira, while 2025 recorded 5.04 billion naira. This represents a year-on-year decline of 82.8%, aligning with broader trends in the foreign exchange market, where the naira stabilized following policy reforms and improved dollar inflows. The transactions largely relate to the purchase of foreign currencies for official trips, aviation operations, Easter codes, training programs, and logistics for international engagements involving top executive officials. While the presidency has maintained that such trips are necessary for diplomacy, investment promotions, and bilateral relations, the scale and timing of the spending have continued to draw public scrutiny amid Nigerians' fiscal constraints and forex shortages. Mr. Former, how justifiable is 34 billion naira in government expenditure? I mean, the government might be in part right in stating that such trips is necessary for bilateral relationships and investment promotion. But one will also argue that instead of we spending this amount of money on traveling outside the country, if we invested heavily into our infrastructure, into the people, into the economy, we do not need to be traveling this much just to woo foreign investment. The economy will show for itself. The well-being, how well the people are living will show for itself. How well coordinated the country is will naturally attract these investors into the country. But then again, what do you have to say to this?
The last 8 years before this government came into power, a lot of things went wrong. And
only when this government came into power?
The last 8 years, it was terrible. It was horrible. The 8 years before this government came in. The last government before this one. You understand? Many companies left the country for different reasons. Now this government came in. They're about 2 going to 3 years old now. One of the things they've taken upon themselves is going around to let these people know that it's no longer business as usual. You can come back.
Okay.
In a relationship, the spouse, one offends one and one packs out from the house. No matter how clean you keep your house, no matter how you sweep your house, no matter how you repaint your house, you still need to go tell the other one that these things you've complained about, I've done them. You can come and see. If I do those things and I don't come to let you know I've done them, you'll still be there. The spouse, the wife or the husband will not come back. Meanwhile, you've adjusted those things he or she was complaining about. So the president needs, this new government, they need to go around to tell people it's no business. Look at Shell. Shell left this country, closed down their production line. In fact, they were gone. The past 8 years, they were nowhere. They were shutting down everywhere in Nigeria that were living. But this government has succeeded in bringing them back. And the last time, when they visited Aso Rock and they met with the president, I think they said they're coming back with $20 billion investment. That is huge. So it's a give and take thing. I must go out, and my cost of going out compared to now, what I think people should do is, what is the cost of the government going out, and what have the government succeeded in attracting? If you do the plus or minus, and what they've succeeded in attracting is more than what they spend, then there's no need to cry. If you do our road, if you do our, I was in Akwa Ibom recently, I came back on Sunday. The road network is wonderful. no potholes. They have 8 lanes. Well, what we have here is 4 lanes, 2 on this side, 2 on this opposite side. Akwa Ibom, they have 8 lanes. So 8 cars can drive on 1 lane, 8 cars can drive on the opposite lane. But if I don't go out to tell them we have this facility and all that, how will they know? And going out, I must fuel, the president will not go alone, or the governors will not go alone. They'll go with their aides. The president will go with some ministers, maybe ministers for the minister for work, the minister for labor, because you want to hear. The president will like, okay, chief of defense, that's the chief of defense of the other country, tell him what we're ready to do. So it shouldn't be as if it's the president talking. Minister for labor and investment, tell them the opportunity and all that. And the president is there to tie everything up. So if they spend that money in achieving, and what they achieve is more than what they spend, then they should keep doing it. This country needs rebranding. A lot of people, even the citizens, they've given hope. They've given up on this country. So the investors, most of them, they've given up. If we invest, there was this time one of the airlines, the foreign airlines, they invested hugely in Nigeria. And the other government before this one said, you can't take your money out. So if I'm investing, I can't take my money out. You allowed me come in, and I can't go out. It became a problem. They started closing down their, what was it called? Their operations in Nigeria and all that. You understand? So this government is going around to say, hey, if you invest, you can take your money out. Just pay us our tax, pay us what is yours, and go out with the remaining. Just keep investing. And that thing is encouraging people to come back. In those days, when we came into Port Harcourt, Rivers State, there were companies everywhere in Transformadi, companies everywhere. In some areas, Oguna Bale, some areas, major oil companies. If you go now, it's a shadow of itself. They've left everywhere, have been taken over by grasses and all that. We had New Klein. New Klein then was at Transformati. They were producing office furnitures, ACs and all that, deep freezers. They've closed. When we came into Port Harcourt, we were doing small business with West African Glass. They produced bottles. We were exporting bottles to Ghana and getting return in foreign currencies. I can take you there this morning. There's nothing happening there. I had somebody, one big man in government before, has bought over the place, selfish interests and all that. So imagine those places still functioning. 2010 or 2012, I went to Ghana. A woman's luggage was, this Ghana must go, this big bag we call Ghana must go, like 12 or 15. Side. 700,000 in buying fuel. You know, you come and at the end of the day, you hear you've not gotten lights, and somebody's telling you still subsidizing. What are you subsidizing? You're supposed to subsidize what I've used. And for every kilowatt or every 1 hour, for instance, if I'm supposed to pay 1,000 naira, I'm paying 500, and you're paying 500. But I did not get light for this 1 hour. And at the end of the day, somebody will still collect subsidy for that 1 hour I did not get light. You understand? So it might still go back to what happened during fuel subsidy. It's a welcome development and all that. It will alleviate the suffering of the masses. You understand? People running gen to operate their businesses will be happy. You understand? Because now power will come. Number one, you don't even see the power. If you don't see the power, you're kind of managing that situation. And you hear every month how many billions they've paid for subsidy. The next thing is, what did you subsidize? There was this time in this country, the last government, during the COVID-19, people were sitting at home, people were not going anywhere, students were not going anywhere, but they were dishing out figures every day for school feeding. How did you feed these people? Where did you go to? Did they come to your house? Did they come to my house? If they had allowed it lie low, nobody would get angry. But seeing this figure, so the same thing with the power. I've not gotten, there are some areas, I was talking to somebody and the person said, for 3 months we've not gotten light. Some areas they've vandalized their transformer. The people in charge is waiting for the area people to contribute to fix. These days now, unless you contribute, and when you contribute this money, you give it back to the people in charge. The NEPA people, the PACN and all that, they'll be the one to go to buy those things. You can't buy, you can't operate those transformers. Before now, growing up, you see if there's any problem, you call them. They will come, they'll take the complaint back. They stole this or this thing is bad, we'll fix it ourselves. But now it's the community, it's the street that contributes to give them. I'll contribute to fix the meter, fix the, what's it called, the transformer. You will not still power the transformer for me to have light. By the end of the month, I'll start seeing 200 million is gone. They subsidized for how many billion naira last month? So where?
I mean, in this instance, then, is it not up to the federal government and now the state government to ensure that the power holding companies are doing what they are being paid to do? If the money is coming out of the federal government's pocket and they are to ensure that we are paying you X amount of money to ensure that our people have adequate lights, and you're not doing that, why should we keep paying you if you're not doing what you're being paid for?
The thing is this. If you're into business like some of us, you go to some businesses and they'll tell you it must be this. To subsidize, and I'm supposed to give you 10 million or 10 billion. At the end of the day, I'm giving you 5, and you're signing for 20. Means Oga has removed 15. So how do you hold me accountable when there's a corruption happening in that sector, and the corruption is favoring you and me, is favoring the people in charge, and all that? PACN will not do to the best of their knowledge. The Ogas there will collect their own and do the little they can do, and that is it. There was this time, one deputy governor, the men that made him deputy governor, his area say having lights. And the moment that regime finishes, the area stop having light. What happened? So if the man wants to confirm, he will call his former area and say, when they get light, you say, yes, we have light. Then it means these people are working. They can just be showing it around where these prominent people that will report them. But the man in the rural area is the person getting the light. So what now happened to the subsidy meant for the lights that is supposed to go to those areas? It ends in people's pockets.
Okay.
So the thing is sincerity. It's a welcome development, but let's not treat this as we treated oil subsidy.
Okay. Now, let's move quickly to our final story before we wrap up. Peter Obi, a prominent figure within the African Democratic Congress, has signaled his plan to seek the party's presidential ticket ahead of the 2027 general elections. He revealed this ambition while addressing supporters at the campaign event for the ADC candidates in the Federal Capital Territory Area Council elections, which took place at the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC. In his remarks, Obi made it clear that he is aiming for the top position and would not settle for a subordinate role in the party's long-term political strategy. He stressed that the AMAC election is closely tied to his political aspiration and called on party faithful and local residents to throw their weight behind the ADC candidate. According to Obi, success in the AMAC poll will play a crucial role in advancing his political mission. Quickly, Mr. Ofoma, the ADC has strong individuals contesting for the same position. We're talking about Peter Obi, we're talking about Amechi, we're talking about Atiku. Now, none of these individuals, all of whom are holding sway, none of them want to stand down for the other. Do you see a really strong battle ahead for the ADC in terms of the presidential candidacy?
Number one, this idea of I cannot be vice to anybody. Like I said, I posted recently, there are most of the times, the politicians, they make their own personal interest look like public interest. It's not so in these Western nations. It's not so. Yes, you put yourself forward to serve, and you should be ready to serve in any capacity the people deems it fits. You might want to serve in capacity A, and they say, go do capacity C. And you like, okay, fine, I want to serve. I'll prove my point even anywhere you put me. If you're good, you're good. You should be ready to serve even as a minister. But when you say, no, I'm not ready to do this, in, I think, United Kingdom, one of the former prime minister became minister for foreign affairs. And he was ready to serve. If it's in Nigeria, they'll say, hey, homie. The Calabar people will say, Gbalagbala, hey, homie, you want to, how? They will not do it. You understand? Yes, this ADC wants to form a good coalition to fight the incumbents. Understand? My own is be ready to serve.
Okay.
This is the 4 of us, this is the 5 of us. Okay, if anybody cleans the ticket, the rest, okay, I can ask, okay, you come and be my vice, you be my chief of staff, but when anybody say no, if it's not the head, if it's not the top position, is there something else you're not telling us?
Okay.
It's not something else. Where did you go to your own special school of governance that nobody went to? That you see yourself as the best and all that. You're projecting yourself. It's just, you must talk good about yourself. But there should be that open space and say, okay, this is what I want. But if you go for an interview, they ask you, how much do you want us to pay you? And you say, okay, you pay me this. If you ask me this, what? But I'm still ready to compromise. Hey, that's what we should hear people that have the interest of this country say. Okay. If I think you say, no, I cannot be vice, this one say I cannot be vice. So who be vice now? And what's special about being the head? What is that one thing that if you're not the head, you cannot do as a vice, or you cannot do as a secretary to federal government or as minister for work? Then there's something people are not telling us.
Okay.
So Nigerian politics is very, very funny, very dicey. It's just God. God that is helping us. Amen.
And may God continue helping us. This is where we wrap it up on this episode of Blowout. Thank you so much, Mr. Victor Ofoma, for coming in again today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic TV Network 1, and on X at Atlantic TV Nets. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Remember, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Open Conversation comes up shortly. Don't go away. Thank you for watching. I am Antonia Arcibel.